Otacon, are you there? Hello? Otacon! Damn. You must have gone to that anime convention.
Oh, Snake, you make it sound like it's a bad thing. Hell, you were at SAC Anime recently, remember? And the best part is, I got it all on film.
Don't anybody, I don't care if you're subscribed to Kevin, he's my friend. So, back off, okay?
Welcome, my dear viewers, to History of Super Mario Bros. The Movie Act 2.
Come on Luigi, come on Mario, let's go for an adventure. Sun or rain or sleet or snow, it don't matter the weather, they're just two best friends. Two plumbers like superheroes, but a little dumber, always looking out for the others. They're the stupid Mario Brothers.
Act 2 of the Super Mario Bros. Movie is where it gets back to business, where we left off in Season 3. Now, people could argue that Act 2 was filler, and to some extent, yes, but it was good filler. Charlie Chaplin once gave advice to Walt Disney that Disney took to heart. Don't be afraid, he told them, to let your audience wait for a few things. Don't be afraid to let your tempo go slow here and there. Disney, referring to the mood of Ave Maria, said, "In Snow White, we should have had something like this. Something a little slower." And I think Ritchie understood that kind of advice, and props to him to keeping that in mind as far as YouTube videos go. Anyway, Act 2 starts with Bowser and Mario fighting each other. It's fairly evenly matched until Mario fires a fireball. Bowser and Kamek leave and try to prepare for the next encounter with Mario and hopefully win. After the intro, Gary Oak wastes Ash's time by being the usual jerk that he is like in the anime. Then Mario shows up asking Gary if he's seen Link anywhere since we hadn't seen him since episode 45. Gary rudely says he hasn't.
Why am I telling you all of this?
Solid Snake meets up with Otacon and tells him that something's not right because of the fact that more and more Genome soldiers have been cropping up and attacking, like in 45. Granted, in 45 it was merely one, as opposed to more than one, even if it is off-screen. Even more baffling is that, according to Snake, they won't even say a word and will starve themselves even if held for question.
They're determined.
Otacon speculates that they're going by Liquid's last orders despite his death. Snake, on the other hand, feels that can't be right if no one's paying them, and they wouldn't be doing it out of vengeance. Snake knows that he must get to the bottom of this. Otacon sighs and says that Disneyland can wait until the crisis is over. That night, the Darkness talks to Nox Decius about how he's going to start picking off each member one by one, starting with the strongest, saying that the rest will crumble. Link continues his journey back to Mario carrying the Fire Flower. Link tells Coconut that he may be trapped after all, and with no other choice left, hides the Fire Flower inside him, with Coconut performing the spell. Naturally, you're probably wondering, say, why doesn't Link use it himself? It could help him recuperate and give him a power boost. Well, there is a reason for that, and I'll talk more about it later. Shortly afterwards, Darkness reveals himself to Link, ready to kill him. Link is baffled that he looks like Mario. Darkness reveals to Link that in accordance to the quote, "In the darkness lies the truth," that he himself is that darkness. Link is stunned to learn that it took on a life of its own. Link unsheaths the Master Sword, while Darkness reveals the actual Black Widow blade that once belonged to Nox Decius. And no, it was not destroyed because Nox Decius felt Mario wasn't worth the effort, so he used a fake and hid the real one in the orchard. And it was the fake that got destroyed by Mario back in Season 2. Now, their blades clash, and you're probably thinking, lightsabers cut through anything, so what the hell? Well,
Don't underestimate the power of the Master Sword.
and that's why. Now, Link's fight, some people complained about when this first came out, saying that it was poorly done. Well, to be fair, there are a couple of reasons for that. One, Link's exhausted from constantly walking. And two, in RMA we use white pipes that you could buy at your hardware store, and we put black handles at one of each end of the pipes. That way, when Richie edits the lightsaber effects, he has a marker to keep track of. If it was green, it would be easy for it to blend in with the grass of Chris's backyard or the orchard. That being said, however, the pipes tend to break sometimes when fighting. And when fighting an actual sword, like the Master Sword, with a pipe that you can't go too hard with, otherwise you'd end up breaking that and all the spares. Link puts up a good fight, but it's clear that the darkness is toying with him and kills him. Every Legend of Zelda fan cried in this scene. Darkness searches him for the Fire Flower, but is pissed to find that he hid it inside him with the spell. Darkness storms off, deciding to go to Phase 2, look for the True Stone. As the sun rises, Mario finds him, but is obviously too late.
I hate that cliche.
Mario feels bad for not doing anything sooner. Link dies peacefully. I really wish we had a funeral scene devoted to Link with as many characters as possible. I mean, you'd have the characters standing together, sort of like in Season 2, at a church or a cemetery. Mario would give a eulogy, and Snake would fire off 3 or 6 rounds for Link. I guess Richie kind of skimmed over that idea, and was sidetracked with getting other scenes done as quickly as smoothly as possible. Anyway, Mario tells Snake about the darkness, and to be on his guard at all times. Darkness tries to recruit Bowser.
You talk too much.
Do I? Or perhaps you just don't talk enough. Oh, that's right. Didn't you just learn?
Ouch, score 1 for Darkness. Bowser wisely rejects his offer and leaves. Darkness says he would have killed him in the end anyway if he said yes. Snake then informs Otacon about the change in their objective and goes off looking for the darkness. Shortly after, Liquid, played by Julian Petrozelli, comes out from hiding and surprises Otacon, now knowing he's alive. At first I thought Liquid killed Otacon, but he actually abducted him at gunpoint off-screen. Snake can't get a hold of Otacon but continues his objective. Meanwhile, Luigi and Ash talk a bit about Pokemon games, but Mario gives them the bad news about Link's death and that fun and games are over. Mario knows he has to alert Wario so they can prepare. But first Mario writes a letter. He doesn't tell them who it's for. He sends Yoshi on an errand to hand-deliver the letter.
The directions of where to send it are in the letter. Don't check until you're at least 5 miles out. We don't know who's watching.
And off he goes. Wario finds out about Link in talking to Snake.
Do me a favor, Snake.
Sure, what?
When you find him, contact me by codec. I want to kill him myself.
Luigi takes a nap and begins to see Nox Decius in his dreams. Decius tries to tempt him to allow control of his body. Luigi resists as best as he can, but it's only a matter of time. Elsewhere, Bowser and Kamek are about to leave, but Kamek gives Bowser some bad news.
What?
Well, you told me to incinerate that building.
And Daddy was in the building? Why did I tell you to do that?
I don't know. You just tell me to do these things and I do them.
Grrrr! Kamek, there's gonna be punishment for you when we get back, and it's not gonna stop until you get me a new bear.
They leave, and it's the last time we see of Bowser and Kamek. Far away, now almost due south from the railroad tracks where Bowser and Kamek were at, Yoshi runs to deliver the letter. Wario and Ash wonder about Donkey Kong, Waluigi, Brock, and Ness. Mario and Luigi mourn Link, though Luigi acts surprisingly like he doesn't give a damn, and Mario begins to notice his odd behavior on the matter, almost like a reversal of Season 3. Luigi becomes defensive when Mario asks about his odd behavior and walks off. Wario is checking his mail when he hears Darkness's voice. He surprises him. Hell, I'd be just as surprised as Wario if that happened to me. Darkness threatens Wario for the Truth Stone, but Wario refuses. Darkness disappears toying with Wario, thinking he's the Joker. In Luigi's sleep, Nox Decius keeps trying to turn Luigi over to the dark side. Luigi's resistance begins to falter in this scene. Wario stumbles upon a coconut on the table where Mario last left him.
Stop!
Holy crap, it talks!
And surprisingly feels pain.
Please, you're now the only one who can.
Maybe I'll help you. What do I have to do first?
Find and destroy the one you call the darkness.
I'll help you.
Darkness talks to himself when he is interrupted by the appearance of Ness. I was surprised to see Ness again since we last saw him. It was in episode 27, and there wasn't a clear explanation for Ness's absence after Season 2. Fans were also surprised to see Tim Muller hit puberty by this time. Ness said he got a note from Yoshi and came back to help the Mario Brothers. Ness uses his PK Thunder technique, but is stopped by Darkness. Then he tries to strike him with his aluminum bat that makes even Darkness flinch. Ness realizes that he's in over his head with the Darkness and leaves to regroup.
Why do I have to be so popular?
Oh, believe me, Darkness, we like to leave you alone, but you keep chewing up the scenery and plotting against Nintendo's best characters. Later, Mario goes to talk to Merlin, venting his frustrations at him. Merlin insists that he can never reveal too much.
I hate that cliche.
Now, Merlin does explain a bit more about the Black Widow Blade to Mario, that it pulses evil no matter who wields it, and tells him to go. Snake runs into Liquid while looking for Darkness, but Darkness finds him. He's saved by Luigi, and rushes to get good reception to contact Wario as he promised. Nox Decius begins to tempt Luigi again while confronting Darkness. Luigi tries to fight it on both levels, but ultimately loses. Under an eclipse, Nox Decius gains a foothold in taking control of Luigi. Once again, Mario arrives too late. Jesus, how many times does this guy listen to his iPod, like in Season 3? Luigi wakes up only to reveal that Nox Decius has possessed him. He says his new name is Mr. L, like in Paper Mario. Much to Mario's shock, he's also stabbed in the back by Darkness. Decius and Darkness have a verbal confrontation about it usurping the other, and who will ultimately win. It's a really good scene. It's like something very symbolic. Mr. L walks off, wisely so since Wario's right behind Darkness ready to fight him.
Did you bring me that stone? I'm afraid that now I need it more than ever.
Stop talking and fight me!
Wario and Darkness have one of the best lightsaber fights in the series. As far back as Season 3, people thought Mario was going to fight the Darkness, but were confused and curious about how Richie was going to pull something like that off effectively, since it was Richard Alvarez in both roles. Richie solved the problem by giving it to Wario to kill him, and it worked, especially given Wario's motivation in the earlier scenes. Darkness stabs Wario and thinks he's dead. Wario ultimately fools the Darkness and has the last laugh since he had the Truth Stone all along. Darkness tries to squeeze out one last Joker-esque line before his death. Wario and Snake know that Mr. L is still on the loose and that they must find a way to defeat him. Snake points out that he has to find and kill Liquid once and for all. Mario wakes up in Limbo to find Link. Link gives him the Fire Flower. By doing so, it brings him back to his body. Basically, Mario pulled a Monty Python on us. Now he's Fire Mario. Ness and Mario regroup with Wario and Snake. Wario gives Mario the Black Widow blade for insurance. Snake goes off to find Liquid, while Mario goes off to find Mr. L. Otacon rushes back to Snake after being let go by Liquid and tells Snake where to find him. Snake and Liquid have a classic Western-style showdown at the railroad tracks. Gotta love gunslingers. Snake shoots him and wins. Meanwhile, Wario asks Coconut what the next step is in helping him. Coconut tells him to take the Truth Stone to Merlin, and that he'll do the rest. Now, Mario and Mr. L have what is arguably the best fight in the whole series, with Black Ore lightsabers, fireballs, fists, and hell, even an homage to Dragon Ball Z. This fight is the epitome of win. Mario helps Luigi expel the spirit of Nox Decius once and for all, and Luigi is returned to normal. Afterwards, Mario discards the Black Widow blade and the fire hat. Things feel bittersweet at this point. With Wario having returned the Truth Stone and Merlin, Coconut is returned to his original self, revealing himself to be Sage. Sage, played by Dustin, tells Wario that he was once a Gerudo king, but was cursed into a coconut, and wouldn't be reversed unless he assisted in 3 acts of heroism, such as helping Link, helping Wario defeat the darkness, and returning the Truth Stone to Merlin. Sage says farewell, never to be seen again. Personally, I was hoping Coconut was going to be Johnny Cyclops, since he knew so much about the Nether Saber, and it would have made sense why he wasn't present in Season 3. But what you gonna do? Mario is surprised to see that Link is revived. Now, people have kind of complained about this sudden return, but I'll give my thoughts on that in a bit. Link says that he was revived by the Truth Stone thanks to Merlin, but that he must return to Hyrule. He says that he may just return in a year or so, and walks off. Ash beats Gary at Pokemon, and Gary has one of the funniest crying scenes ever. Waluigi returns, meeting up with Merlin. Merlin is pleased to see that all was resolved until he finds out that Waluigi forgot to give Wario the counter curse and to truly destroy the darkness before he left. Darkness realizes that he's still alive. He discards the hat and looks for Wario. Waluigi surprises Wario and gives him the counter curse. Wario confronts Darkness one last time and kills him. Now here's where I get my mixed feelings about Act 2, that it ends anticlimactically. I mean, we had 3 epic fights, one for Wario and Darkness, another for Snake and Liquid, and the third being for Mario and Mr. L. Suddenly having Darkness reawaken just for him and Wario to fight again was where it got anticlimactic. And it feels like a cop-out. Plus it's contradictory since Decius pointed out that Darkness wasn't immortal, which was why he searched for the Truth Stone. And if he wasn't dead, why would it take him so long to get back up realizing, oh, I'm not dead? Also, Sage pointed out that Darkness had to be destroyed as part of the 3 acts of heroism in order to be turned to normal. If he was still alive all along, wouldn't that mean that the spell to return Sage would not work until the deed is done? That last part was shoddy, and its justification for it was equally shoddy. It was a sudden rewrite just for Waluigi and Brock to be included in Act 2. Now don't get me wrong, I like Waluigi and Brock, but sometimes you have to think of the picture as a whole and realize that if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and certain scenes had to be cut. We had to wait for a week just for something that was overkill. In the last part, Snake and Ness go running off into the next Super Mario Bros. Installment, Operation Blindstorm. Act 2 ends with Mario, Luigi, and Wario back where it all started from, the mailbox, and Act 2 concludes. Act 2 was great, even though it kinda ended anticlimactically in my opinion. Once again, Philip, Kato, and myself are credited as producers, like in Act 1. Now, the reason for Link's death was because Kent's Mormon and was about to leave for a mission, and Richie was in a tough spot about what to do about Link before Kent left, and had a limited amount of time to rewrite and plan shooting. Now, he solved the problem by writing him out and giving Kent the scene where he gives Mario the Fire Flower in Limbo. However, it was after most of the movie was filmed, Kent was able to make one last appearance before he left for his mission. Richie was able to make that work. Now, people have said that the revival was a cop-out, but I have to disagree with them on that one. The fact of the matter is, it's video game characters and logistics in the real world. The Truth Stone was able to give Link an extra life, again, like in video games. People have also complained about how useless Merlin is in this series, that he doesn't do anything to help except talk and be vague. Well, again, this is the same Merlin from Richie's Arthur vs. the Druids vs. the Grail series. If you want an explanation, here it is.
So it is true. I only started using this crazy attitude a few years ago, so that Arthur would look to his own advice rather than mine. I raised Arthur as my own, and trained him to use the sword, to be loyal, and to be king. He has been chosen to rule this land till death. I must stop you.
Now picture Merlin saying something like that about Mario in the SMB series if Decius showed up at his table. Act 2, while I have mixed feelings about Part 6, was still overall good and enjoyable. Join me next time when we advance into Operation Blindstorm.
Man up! You'll have to fight your shadow hand to hand. Again, just like Peter Pan.